Hey guys, how's it going? This is the Ball Metal Nerd coming at you with another video. In this one, I thought I'd give a real in-depth breakdown between iHeartRadio and Pandora, which is the 800-pound gorilla of the free streaming radio universe, and iHeartRadio is a very close second. They both have lot of usage that they got going on. And if you've been watching my videos, you know I just got a car stereo installed. And ironically, I'm recording this before I have my car stereo installed because the car stereo I bought really advertises. It's right on the box. iHeartRadio integration and Pandora integration. Rah! So I thought I'd really reevaluate these services and kind of give them both a chance. So this video is going to consist of a few parts. The first part is going to be obviously this wonderful intro piece that you're watching now. Leading off with that, you're going to see some comparison between the two services. You will see me working with both services on the web browser, Windows 10 apps, and emulated Android apps through BlueStacks on Windows, just to give you an idea of the Android experience. And I'll give my extremely preliminary thoughts on both services in that part of the video. Then after that, I'm going to take about 3 weeks, yes, 3 whole weeks, and live with all of these services for a while. I'm going to live with Pandora for a week, then follow it up with Iheartradio for a week. And then the last week, of course, I will just probably primarily be listening to files on my SD card, which is how I've been listening to music for years on my phone. So I kind of just thought I'd do those 3 things, kind of compare, all of them, see what I like, see what I don't like, blah, 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 so I can actually give some educated conclusions at the end of this thing. So that's pretty much going to wrap up the intro part of this video. So I will see you guys in a second, and we'll do some demos. Alright guys, in this part of the video, I'm going to obviously show off all of the different ways to interact with these services that at least we currently have, and I'll go ahead and start off with the 800-pound gorilla in the space, and that of course is Pandora. And here is basically right now the obviously the main website. I'm logged in there at the top, so hooray, 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 right? So obviously we got a bunch of stations there at the side. If I get tired of listening to one thing, I can switch over to whatever. It should start. Yep, and there it goes, kicking off something. And yeah, guys, I currently have the audio muted because we can't have copyright concerns. Because yes, everyone is going to, instead of buying music, they're going to watch really shitty streams of it on YouTube to replace buying music. Yep, that. All right, I'll stop now, guys. I just couldn't help it. So anyway, it's pretty simplistic, obviously, on the website to switch between stations. It happens fairly quick. It's a nice feature, blah, blah, blah. The user interface on it's not bad. You can edit your stations here. And you can kind of go through the whole thing. Now, one thing you can do with this is I'll show you on a station that I've already done this. So let's go back to... and this is something that is exclusive to Pandora as far as I'm aware. If you go into edit your station here, you can add what are called seeds. I added a bunch of artists here to basically, that's what I'm looking for. These are, quote, seed artists they'll use to basically pull songs from those artists as well as similar artists to make the station the way you like it. And this is just my general metal station, so I try to have a pretty big variety here of artists. This isn't all of what I want to add. I've only, been working with this for about a day or so. I'm sure eventually I'll, if I play this with enough times, I will get a pretty customized station, and that is, I think, Pandora's strong point. And as far as the website interface goes, it's real easy to customize your stations. It's real nice, pretty decent. Obviously, the user interface on the website's pretty straightforward. Thumbs up, thumbs down, pause, skip track, volume. Real exciting stuff. So that's pretty much it for Pandora. I'll get to iHeart here in a bit. So I'm going to go ahead and show off Pandora's Windows app now. This is the native Windows 8/10 app, what they call their modern app, and it doesn't have as much functionality as the website. In my opinion, the only real upside to this versus the website, it does maybe look slightly prettier, and you got taskbar controls. Strangely, there's no thumbs up or thumbs down there in the taskbar. You would think there would be, honestly, considering how much Pandora relies on, I don't know if I'm, relies on thumbs up and thumbs down for their controls. So that's a bit of an issue. And you can't add seeds into their station either. You can, if you right click on them, I could pin it to the start menu if I wanted to. Don't really want to do that. Delete and cancel. There's no right click, doesn't customize. You would think it would on a PC, but it does not. Even if I could just go to stations here, it just shows this. It just kind of shows a grid. And of course you can create stations. Here, let me move my head here. You of course can create stations in the blah blah blah. I'm not gonna do that right now, but you get the idea. That's pretty much the app. It's decent, and of course it'll switch tracks pretty, or I'm not sorry, tracks, stations pretty simply. You just click the station, obviously starts playing real quick. Exciting stuff, right guys? All right, so that be Pandora as far as the Windows app goes. Honestly, I don't think I'm going to keep this app on my computer. It's better to interact with Pandora through the website because the application doesn't offer too many real reason to keep it on your system. So kill that off. Now I'm going to go ahead and show off Pandora. This is running in BlueStacks, which is basically like an Android emulator type of thing. And I compared this to the way that Pandora looks on my phone, and it's a bit different. And I think the reason for that is this is emulating a tablet interface rather than a phone. So you see some screen elements on here that you don't see on a phone necessarily. So you've got this thumb here where you can, it looks like, I wonder, no, I don't, it looks like you can delete your seeds from the station. I really don't want to do that. I guess lets you, what's this do? Oh, it just gives you a thumbs up and thumbs down history there. Okay. So, yeah, you want to switch, obviously. Oh, it's going to play a commercial because, of course, I have the free version of Pandora. Wow, this is irritating. See, that's the biggest downside to Pandora is these fucking ads. All right. Which you don't have on iHeart, by the way. But in a lot of ways, I think Pandora is a bit of a better experience because of the customization of the radio that you can do. And there you go. That's pretty much it. This is the app. Where the hell's the pause button at? Is it playing? Sorry, guys, I don't have the sound on. Let's turn it on for a microsecond. Or not. Whatever, you guys get the general idea. So, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and, look, the taskbar stays at the top of the window there. Good stuff. Oh, man. Okay. Let's minimize that for now. Okay, now we are going to look at, maybe, if I can get the website or web browser to come back up. Oh, looks like I'm having technical difficulties, guys. So, actually, give me a moment, and I'll be back, and we'll go for Iheartradio Interface on the machine. I guess we're going to have to separate this kind of into two parts. Be right back in a second. All right, guys, made it through that little tech problem. I think it was the BlueStacks player and maybe the Windows apps conflicting or something. I don't know. All I had to do was log off the machine, log back on, and here we are. Anyway, this is the Iheartradio website, websitero, whatever you want to call it. And basically, obviously, here we are on the website interface. Let's make sure that volume's turned down again. Okay, let's turn that back down. That way, no copyright problems and be saying, oh, look, you got... All right, I'll stop making... But I can't help it. All right, so anyway. All you got to do, obviously, this is the website here and exciting stuff, right? Let's click on My Stations up here at the top. And these are just things that I've listened to in the past, so it's obviously pretty simplistic to change. I assume this is playing something right now. Like I said, I don't know. And pretty simple. Now, this doesn't have the customization abilities that what's the word I'm looking for? Pandora has. But it does have this nice, I mean, you can blow up the site and got nice large album art there of the currently playing song. You can buy the song if you want, go to the, you know, whatever. So, oh, that just, what does that do? Yeah, I don't want to, yeah, I mean, creating stations is pretty simplistic, but again, it doesn't have the problem, or I'm sorry, the options of customizing it nearly as much as Pandora does for fine-tuning the station. So that is maybe its biggest downfall, but it does have one thing that is better about iHeart is, at least on the custom. Now, if you listen to the quote live radio here, these are obviously just local radio stations here in the Cincinnati area. It's not all of them, but I'm assuming it's probably all the ones owned by Clear Channel, and some of these are just internet based, like the 24. I think probably 102.3 The Beat is the. Oh wait, no, it kind of mixes in between real radio stations and internet-based stuff. But at least on the custom stations, the commercials are very, very light on iHeart. Maybe you'll hear one when you start the station, but then you can listen to it for hours and hours, not hear any more commercials, which is a huge, I think, the biggest benefit of iHeart over Pandora. So anyway, there's that. That's it on the website. That's what it looks like. Nothing spectacular, nothing horrible. It is what it is, right? Not the best interface, not the worst. Let's see if the app looks a little bit better. So this obviously is the app, and I think it's a bit prettier than the website. It's definitely more visually appealing, I guess. And of course, you got all the same options here. You can hit local, and then yeah, it shows local radio stations. So not bad, but again, like I said, it doesn't have the same zest to it that Pandora does as far as customizing. Now I'll go ahead and show off the Android app such as it is as far as my ability to show it. Now this is something called iHeart Auto, which connects to the car stereo. When I get to the car stereo, or I will show off how these apps interact with the car stereo. So when I get to that part in the video, you will see this thing interacting with the car stereo, how it does, if there's any benefit to having this on your phone versus just the standard application. So anyway, close that off there. And let's go ahead and back to the standard Android app. Now, this does look pretty much identical to my phone. I did take a look at it. And as far as how it looks, it's okay. It's good enough, obviously on a phone. On a desktop, it's not so great. Yeah. Click live radio. And then it kind of, gives you all the... Ironically, listening to some of these streams might be better than whatever you pick up over the FM antenna in your car. Ironic, I know, but that can happen. So anyway, as far as audio quality, I have done some listening to these two services, obviously, and as far as which one sounds better, I haven't really determined that yet, fidelity-wise. They seem similar-ish. Maybe iHeart's a little bit better. I believe the free tier of Pandora streams at 64 kilobits, like AAC Plus or some crap like that, and which will keep your data use down on your phone, which might actually be a good thing. And I think iHeart streams at like 128K MP3 or something like that. So the audio quality of either one of these services is not exactly out of this world great. So, but I will give a more in-depth opinion when I live with both of these services for a few weeks. I'll be able to give a more educated, intelligent opinion on that. So anyway, that wraps up as far as interfacing with these things on a PC goes. If you are going to do it, I guess what I would recommend for Pandora, I would recommend the website for Pandora. And if you're going to use iHeartRadio on a PC, I would actually recommend the native Windows app. It does seem a bit, nicer than the than the website. So anyway, that wraps this part of the video up. See you guys in the next part. All right, guys, I had a chance to live with both of the services for a while. So what's my pick between Pandora versus iHeartRadio? Well, if we're talking about listening on a computer, roughly a toss-up. They both have relatively similar sound quality. They have relatively similar music. Sometimes, depending on the stations you create, some do a really good variety. Some play the same stuff. They're kind of all over the map as far as their experience goes listening on a computer. In fact, for both of them, very few commercials listening on a computer. The place where it really changes is, mobile, on mobile, when you're driving around and you're streaming Bluetooth to the car stereo. Huge difference. Pandora uses this opportunity, I guess, because they know you're kind of a captive audience. At least on the free version, they play a lot of commercials, and in fact, they play so many commercials that, in my opinion, it's not really worth listening to Pandora over terrestrial radio. Well, I guess there's a bit of a difference. I mean, you're much more likely to hear music you like and a wider variety of it than terrestrial radio, but the large number of commercials on Pandora's free streaming really just makes it overall kind of an unpleasant experience. Whereas with iHeartRadio, typically, on my commute, the only commercial I would hear would be the commercial when I first start the stream, because typically on iHeartRadio, you will hear one commercial right when you start, basically start a stream up kind of in the beginning. or maybe if you switch channels, but when you're driving around, it's not like you're switching channels all that often in the application. So I would only hear, say, for a 30 to 35 minute commute, I would only hear one commercial. Whereas with Pandora, I would hear the same amount of time. There might be about 3 commercial breaks and 2 commercials each. So anywhere between 6 to 8 commercials, depending on, what I was looking at. So it's really just, that's the biggest downside to Pandora's free tier, and I'm not willing to pay for it. So as far as a free service goes, I can't recommend Pandora for mobile use. However, on the desktop, listening on the computer, the commercials are much less frequent, and it's fine to listen to on your desktop. So really, as far as which you should listen to on your computer, it's kind of a toss-up. So that's pretty much going to kind of conclude this thing. I lived with it. Now, what did I think of those two services versus listening to my own music in the car? Well, really, as much as I did enjoy the experiment in those streaming services, I do prefer listening to my own music. It's probably just because I've always preferred that, to kind of have some control over what's playing. I mean, the streaming's nice because it's basically like a customized radio station, but it doesn't compare to just, cranking out your own tunes. So anyway, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this video. I want to say thanks for watching. If you did like it, please thumbs up. If you hate me, thumbs down. Share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Catch you guys next time.